The SAT and ACT college entrance exams are critical to student success after high school. High School Director of Student Services, Ms. Patricia Meeker, explains that students can register online for the SAT and ACT at www.act.org for the ACT and at www.collegeboard.org for the SAT. In Student Services, students can find a sheet that shows where and when the upcoming SATs and ACTs will be held. The SAT will be held at the high school in May, and the ACT will be held at the high school in June.
Anyone receives free or reduced lunch or thinks they're eligible for it, we would encourage them to fill out the paperwork, which we have here. But by doing that, then we could use a fee waiver so that the SATs wouldn't cost anything.
Meeker discusses why it is crucial to take the SAT.
One of the things that four-year colleges will look at in terms of deciding is the criteria for their acceptance. But beyond that, even if students are looking at two-year colleges, by taking the SAT, depending on the score, it's very possible that they are waived from taking a placement test or can be placed in a college math versus not a college math, a prep class. It also, to me, I call it opening doors. It allows students to see what their options are. Where do you score in relationship to other things?
The best way for students to prepare is to study using the Khan Academy website.
It is set up in a way that you want to be a little bit comfortable when you walk in there. If you just type in a Google SAT, it goes to College Board, and they have actually partnered with something called the Khan Academy, and they offer a sample test just by sections, so that the essay you could do anything you wanted to. What I especially like about it, when I show students how to do sample questions for the area that they might have some difficulty with, say for instance math, one of the things that it can do is it will show you all the answers. You click and it'll show you what isn't right or what is right, but it gives you afterwards all the answers as to why the wrong answer is wrong and why the right answer is right, so that it kind of jogs your memory on how you should have come up with that answer.
Meeker clarifies the score set up for the SAT.
The SAT has two big sections, evidence-based reading and writing and math. You can earn a scaled score of between 200 and 800 points on each section for a total of 1,600 possible points on the redesigned SAT. The scaled score of between 2 and 800 is converted from a raw score that you earn on each section. The raw score is simply the number of questions you answered correctly. Skipped or wrong answers do not add or subtract from your raw score. So it says, how do the raw scores become scaled scores? It happens through a process that College Board calls equating. Equating is not curving your score relative to other test takers on the day you take the test. Equating controls for slight variations in the different SAT dates to ensure that scaled scores represent the same level or ability across different test dates.
Meeker elaborates the differences between the SAT and the ACT exams.
The biggest difference is that the ACT has a section called Science Reasoning, and it isn't looking for a student that is exceptionally gifted in the science area, but it will have things with graphs and terminology that you would have gotten just by being in the classes that you've been in 9th and 10th and potentially 11th grade.
Meeker highly recommends that students take either, if not both exams, because it is fundamental to student success.
Honestly, we do encourage students to consider taking both. There's something called a concordance schedule that basically lists what you score on an ACT, what it is equivalent to in terms of an SAT. That's what admissions offices use. So it's very possible that you score better on one than the other. And in schools, colleges constantly will tell us, admissions office, they're looking for whatever score is the best you have.
So when is the best time for students to take the tests? Meeker encourages all juniors as well as sophomores enrolled in advanced math to take the SAT. Meeker says juniors are more apt for success when they take the exam in the spring.
We really do encourage any sophomores to consider taking the SAT and or ACT if they are in advanced math. If they are in Algebra 2, the SAT and the ACT both are only up through Algebra 2. So we really think while it's fresh in your mind, perhaps lock in your best math score. And then junior year, I would encourage at the end of the junior year to take it again to get potentially the best English score.
Meeker suggests that students take the test multiple times to achieve a qualifying score.
The more times you do take it, whatever is best of your English score and the best of your math score is what the schools will look at, whether they're from the same test or not. So taking it again, in many cases, students feel more at ease walking into the second test.
If any students have questions or concerns with either test, they can find help in Student Services. For Ryan the Tigers, I'm Shannon Michaelis.